Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hira Zaria. We have with us Ria Singh, technical analyst, currencies joining in. Ria, welcome to the show. Ria, let's start with the Indian rupee. It's finding a very strong resistance at higher levels. However, it's not paving a way for a quantitative appreciation against the dollar. How do you see this panning out?
Yes, here if you look at the India's economy, it is steadily rebounding as it emerges from the second COVID outbreak. So, according to the market indicators, uh, we have seen a continued drop in the active virus cases, which have allowed the states to further relax the restrictions. Now, except for a fresh flare up led by the Delta variant, expectation of a strong recovery ahead. Um, is could be witnessed depending on how the power demand, retail and recreation activity, employment numbers, and so forth comes into the picture. So all in all, I think the only downside that the rupee is currently facing is the inflation risk, which is still hovering on the economy, and the rising crude oil prices will only lead to further accelerate the inflation rate. Also, on the bond front, there is a new 10-year paper to be issued on Friday, which is already trading at around 6.15%, implying a much higher coupon cutoff than 5.8%, which is the current benchmark's coupon rate. So why this is so important is because RBI is trying to manage the yield in order to keep the borrowing cost low for the government. But in order to do so, it might have to buy in around 6 trillion rupees to manage the whole demand supply mismatch and keep the yields range bound. So there is a lot of mix fundamentals that have come forward for the Indian rupee, and that is why we are seeing so mixed momentum in these sessions from in today as well as yesterday. So I think on a larger uh, basis, it is most likely to maintain the range within the levels of 75.08, 74.58. So a directional momentum will be taking place into the rupee once it breaches any of these levels.
Okay. Apart from that, the UK economy is likely on the course of its pre pandemic peak by the end of this year. And that's clearly evident with the kind of momentum that we are seeing on the pound. Do you think this is something which will likely continue, or do you think there will be consolidation from here on?
Yes, despite the research into the COVID-19 virus linked to the Delta variant, the UK economy altogether forecast does looks quite promising. So there is a recovery that has come into the labor market, which will prevent the inflation from undershooting the Bank of England's 2% target, giving policymakers enough confidence to raise the interest rate by the end of the next year. So the expectation regarding the economy is that it might expand to around 5.9% in the second quarter, logging a growth of around 2.2% in the third and 1.2% in the fourth. So there could be, expansion into the economy that could be coming forward. So all in all, I think these numbers are on a year on to year basis and so forth. So I think it's still way down the line. If you look at the recent numbers, and employment will mostly likely to peak for the fourth quarter, and the inflation coming beyond the central bank target. Thus, I think Bank of England will most probably keep the interest rate on hold this year. So the interest rate hike is most prominent to coming into the next year, the start of the next year. So all in all, the economy and the support to the economy will remain normal, and as long as the asset purchase programs continues. So this could translate into a much better UK economy numbers, and then there are talks of eliminating the lockdown restrictions and so forth. So all in all, this is boosting the pound positivity, and the same we have seen into the discounting the same into the momentum of the pound as well, where we saw the turnaround from 1.14 towards 1.42. But year on, I think the bullish momentum pace will be more gradual than the fast pace previously seen, because most of the this positive news, since it's way down the line, or at least it will start coming in from the next financial year, uh, it has already been discounted into the price momentum, and that's why there will be a gradual increase into the pace so forth.
Okay. And simultaneously, with regards to where Japan is concerned, it seems that for the fiscal year, there is going to be weakness. We are seeing a decline in terms of the household income as well as spending as well. How do you think that will impact their currency?
The numbers are indicating that there is an underlying weakness in the consumption. So this will probably put a drag on the economy in the second quarter. Uh, the increase was down in the numbers from April and is also reflected, uh, to boost from a low base. So a drop in disposable income suggests that the outlook for spending isn't solid yet. Looking ahead, it is likely that the spending will fall in June as well, given that the state of emergency ran to June 20. So it has restricted lots of economic activity. At Even if you look at the recent GDP forecast that has been released by the central government, they have downgraded to 3.7% from 4%. So this is further adding on to the bearish sentiment into the end, and taking into consideration how their economy is performing and the lag and their uh, action put forward in order to battle the COVID situation, I think a supplementary budget could be coming forward to fund more support measure in order to boost the economic activity. So I think Japanese yen will remain under pressure on a shorter term.
Right. So overall, Ria, what are the strategies that you would recommend?
I think rupee will remain weak, and that is why the strategies will be to buy into JPY INR above 68.36 for a target of 68.72 with the stop loss at 68. You can also go long into the Euro INR above 88.77 for a target of 89 with stop loss at 88.57. Today in the intra-day session, there is a very good bullish shoot that the euro has witnessed. This is with respect to the anticipation that the market is discounting with respect to the ECB policy strategy that they are going to come out with today, later today. So eyes onto that. And I think once the USD INR breaches the level of 75.05 on the higher side, it could test the level of 75.26. So you can go long for the same by keeping a strict SL at 74.85.
Right. Thank you, Ria, for sharing those strategies and the views as well. Thank you, participants, for being a part of the show.
Thank you, Yuri.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.